I'm Shauna. Shauna K, Calgary Northwest Fit Body Boot Camp in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
And I am Kara Eckerman, Chino Hills Fit Body Boot Camp in Southern California. And yeah.
We want to introduce you to Fit Body Boot Camp University. This is the trainer session, so we want to give you some tips and tips on running an effective boot camp, building a boot camp culture, making this the cheers of fitness for your campers. And so I think we'll start with the core values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So how many people actually know what the core values are? Does anybody know any core values of Fit Body Boot Camp?
Be nimble and decisive.
I know you
Very
are.
good.
It's the one that I
Someone
can
always remembers nimble and decisive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got 10, and so it's worthwhile that we discuss it. And I mean, we're just going to quickly go over it because we feel that everybody should be on board with what the core values are. And the first one is to inspire, fun, and deliver happiness. And so, yes, you want to get results from your clients. You want to, have long-term members. But really, the biggest thing is if they're having fun and you're making them happy, whether they get fit, whether they get results, that's going to be a happy coincidence. But when they're having fun and they're happy, they're going to keep coming back to your boot camp.
Okay, and then be determined and driven. So just every day when you show up to boot camp, that you're determined to be passionate about what you do, to really show to your members that you care about them, you care about getting them the results, and that you care, if they need modifications, things like that. So go in every day and be driven. The fact that you guys are here and you care shows that you guys are driven and committed. So every day, just kind of remember that as well.
Taking pride in ownership, whether you're an owner or a trainer. Trainers have a really special and important part in all our studios, and so we're really thankful that trainers are showing up and watching this video, because it's going to make our location successful, but more importantly, it's going to make our members more successful. And so that's what it's all about, is getting our members results.
Mm-hmm. And instill confidence is number 6. Feel free to write these down, guys, if y'all want. Instill confidence. So instill confidence in every one of your members. It's not very often that people give compliments or uplift people, especially, the people that you might see every day. They might just be coming from work. They might have had a bad day. So it's really important that when you do see them, you greet them. Give them confidence, give them compliments, things like that's very, very important to our culture.
Be humble and approachable, so that all members feel like they can approach their trainers, approach owners. You always want to be, feeling like you want your clients to be able to feel like they can come to you with anything.
Embrace, encourage, and drive change. So kind of, maybe people might come to you and maybe they've done something else in the past before that didn't work for them, or maybe they're at their wit's end and they think nothing's ever going to work. They'll never be able to lose weight. And it's up to us to encourage them and motivate them and let them know that we can help them make that change here at Fit Body Boot Camp. And so that's really important, that you as the trainer are always constantly encouraging, motivating them every single day that you see them.
The other thing is that Fit Body Boot Camp does things quite a bit differently, and so the whole idea of change is really important, because even just doing a 30-minute workout, you'll get resistance, because some people will, we're going to talk about the length of the workouts, the effectiveness of it, studies, what studies are showing, and it really goes against the grain. And so as trainers, as owners, we need to be open to, change, because just because things have been done the same way forever doesn't mean that we should continue to do it that way. And so it's really important to be progressive and embrace change, be open to it. Cultivate a positive team and family culture, and that's probably one of the biggest things. We're going to be talking about culture, and we want to exceed clients' expectations in all areas. Like, a lot of people just come to, they might come to a fitness facility to get fit, but they come away with, family experience, like family-like relationships, and an experience that's way above what they were expecting. And so that's really another aspect that really helps long-term commitment for their fitness and for your business as well. You want to finish up?
Sure. Communicate and open honestly. So that means with, if you're an owner, that you're communicating honestly with the trainers, being open and honest with the owner, with your admin, with everyone, and that with your clients, with keeping it very professional. But being open and honest is so important. You don't want to hold anything back. Always bring things out if there's something bothering you. Let your owners know. Like I said, I'm an owner. Shauna is an owner, and we're open. We're all here for the same purpose, and we just want to change lives. So making sure that if something's going on, you're honest, and we're open about that. Because like I said, if we hold anything back, none of those things are possible because we'll be kind of holding anything inside.
So the Fit Body Bootcamp is really about the unstoppable fitness formula. And really what we're trying to create is the ultimate bootcamp experience, but more than just the bootcamp experience. We're trying to, like I said before, create that cheers experience where when people walk through the door, they're not just another member, people know them by name, people are expecting them, and we're going to talk about how to create that experience. And so the unstoppable fitness formula is really consisting of what is it?
The APE.
Yeah, APE principle.
And we'll go over that in a second.
Should we just go over that
Yeah, let's
now?
just go over the APE,
Okay,
yeah.
go.
Okay, so APE, I know a lot of you in here have heard that. I know this is going to be a big time review for y'all. But if you guys haven't, so this is what the APE energy principle is. So it's appreciation, passion, and energy. And I suggest that everybody always keep that in the back of their mind. It's extremely important, and it's just how we do things at Fit Body Bootcamp. So appreciation is the #1 human desire. Everyone wants to feel loved and feel appreciated. So when someone walks through the door, you're giving them a high five, you're greeting them by name, you're thanking them for coming. When they walk out the door, same thing. It should be your goal as a trainer especially that during each session, every single person gets some form of individual attention. Whether it's a high five, a pat on the back, you use their name, you greet them, you open the door for them. Show the client that you appreciate them. They did not have to choose Fit Body Bootcamp, but they did. And we're extremely grateful, and we want to keep them happy and let them know that we care.
Sorry. How many people know their clients' names? Yeah. Make sure that that's one of my goals, even if I have 30 in a session. My goal when I'm teaching, because I teach probably once or twice a week, and my trainers, I try and encourage to make sure they call them by name.
Yeah, use names.
At one point. Whether it's a shout out for, something they've done great, or even if it's a quiet correction, or, great to see you, Denise, I'm glad you're here, or, just something, always call your client by name at least once.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That's awesome. And then passion, just showing, show that you're passionate. Don't just walk around standing at your timer, counting reps, things like that. Show your passion, show your enthusiasm. If you could see somebody on the TRX that can be challenging themselves more, show that you care, you're passionate, they can do more. Nicely encourage them. If someone needs a modification, you care about them. Help them with that. Very, very important. You care for your campers and you want them to feel better and make a change in their lives. So let them know. Don't be afraid to show that to them. Energy, that is, we kind of like to use the MTV analogy. So if an MTV crew came through and the award, $1 million prize is going to give to the most energetic, passionate trainer. So always keep that with you. Be energetic, have that, voice inflection. Don't just be monotone the entire time. Extremely important. Make eye contact with everyone. Don't just look, around. Look at each individual. Make contact. Take time to help them correct their form. Don't, pacing back and forth, and we'll go over that like Shauna mentioned earlier. There's a certain way at Fit Body Bootcamp that we stand, when we are engaging with a member, So things like that, it's really important that you show that energy, and they'll feed off of that. A lot of us, we might be teaching, 2, 3, 4 sessions in a row. And yes, we're living our dream, and yes, we're changing lives, but it's like we were talking earlier, you don't want to train a dud group, but it's up to us. You know, at 5 a.m. in the morning, not everyone's awake and ready to go, but that's up to us to show that energy. They can feed off of us, and that's extremely important to remember. So that's 8, appreciation, passion, and energy. Always keeping that in mind, most definitely.
The idea too of eye contact, like I have a couple apprentice trainers, and so I'm working with them, and sometimes trainers will just kind of look above the heads of people and it looks like you're making eye contact. Like you really have to connect with people. And I have one trainer, you know, and it's always like, good job, good job, good job. Like try and work with your trainers, or as, you know, as trainers, try and develop a language that you're not always just repeating the same thing, because then it loses meaning. So you need to be genuine with your compliments, with your, you know, whatever you're saying, and you need to have that connection with people. People really, you know, appreciate that, exactly. Mm-hmm. So the other thing is, of the Unstoppable Fitness Formula, is the triple stack principle, and that's cardio, resistance, and intensity, and we're going to be talking about how to throw that into a workout. So that's a big part of our workouts, because we really encourage having a shorter and intense workout rather than, you know, like say an hour long, which really is going against the grain of many boot camps. What are some of the camp times that you guys are doing? What do you sorry?
6:10, 6:50, and 8.
So are they half an hour?
Yeah,
6:10 to 6:50?
Or no, yeah, 6:10 to 6:40.
Or yeah, got it. 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing half-hour sessions.
Right.
Okay.
Hour.
You're doing an hour session.
Do an hour session.
Yeah, and we're gonna see if we can change your mind on
No,
that.
I already been to Kira's boot camp.
Yeah. Are they changing when you get home?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and just for the warm-up alone, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna cut off some time. Yeah. Stephanie, what are you doing?
Half hour.
Half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 6 back to back in the morning, 6 back to back in the night.
Cool.
2 at lunch.
Nice. Yeah. Denise.
Does 30 include warm up?
Yep. It does. Yeah. Denise, what are your plans?
30 minutes.
You're gonna do 30? Caesar? You guys are, oh yeah, Rebecca just moved, didn't she? Yeah, and Nicole, what about you?
60 minutes.
60.
Yeah.
You're doing 60.
Yeah, he's in the midst of changing over to the 30. That was discussed, but
Okay.
we haven't started it yet.
Okay. Maybe you'll come back and change his mind.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like for all those people that are doing 60, and for people watching the video that are doing 60 or longer, you don't necessarily have to start every session. You know, like what I did and the way I made the change is I was doing 60-minute, well actually I backed it down to 55 and then 50, never really told anybody, but by the time 50 was over, everyone was happy. And then I backed mine down to 40 because, and I did it kind of as a summer experiment because it was difficult for me to go from 60 to 30 without after 5 years of doing boot camp. So for those of you that owners out there that have a longer camp and need to make the switch, is you might do it kind of as an experiment over the summer or over a, you know, just say, okay, well, we're going to do this for a month. And my goal was, I didn't want to stuff it down people's throats that, you know what, 40 minutes, 30 minutes is plenty. They needed to experience it. Once I introduced it, people were like, oh my gosh, that's plenty. That's good for me. So that then the experience spoke for itself, and it wasn't me trying to say, no, you're going to really like it. You're going to really like it, because then I felt I'd get some resistance. The other thing too is that now any additional sessions that I'm backed off to 40 now, which, you know, I might go down to 30, but right now we're happy with 40 and I really enjoy that. And then I've added an extra half an hour, like a 7 o'clock express camp. So now any additional sessions I'll add at the 30 minutes. So for those owners that have the longer time and you feel you're going to get resistance, because that's the biggest thing, is some campers would say to me, well, am I going to get half off now? You know, you've almost cut the boot camp in half. And I say, well, look, I'm going to get you faster results in half the time, but I'm not going to charge you more. Like, wow, you're really ahead. Like, I'm giving you a good deal. So you just kind of turn it around like that.
And
So-
people can do doubles once they work
Yes.
up to, once
Yeah.
they work up to a certain level, if they want to do doubles, they can.
Yeah, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
that. But with the whole, I mean, I guess we started talking about camp time because we started talking about cardio resistance intensity. It's all about intensity. So,
I have a question about that. Are
Yeah.
you minimizing the rest time though?
oh yeah, there's no rest.
There is
There's
no
no
rest. Like
Yeah.
Lisa did our boot camp the past few days, there's no rest. You take your water bottle with you and you rest at your own if you need it. And we always tell new members that's part of when they come for their first session. If you need rest, feel free to take it. But there are some people who are going to go 30 minutes and they're going to be nonstop.
So it's well received. The 30-minute sessions have been, other than the fact that some people are looking at it as the time's cut
Yeah.
down. Once
Yeah.
they see the value of it, it's well received.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been very well received in my boot camp, and like I said, I did it as an experiment over the summer, so for July and August, but I've just kind of talked to my members now and said, you know, we're going to keep with the same time schedule or schedule in the fall, and I've had maybe one person. I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to, like, you can't please everybody, but most people and my hardcore people, they're like totally on board with it. And I think that's been the reception for like Stephanie.
And for me, yeah,
Yeah.
I was 45 minutes for a long time, and now I'm 30 minutes, and people were like doubtful at first. But now they love it. They're like, oh my god, I love it, especially 30 minutes. I'm way more sore, it's more intense. And that's when people join. I'm like, why do you like boot camp? I
It's
love
only 30
30
minutes.
sessions.
Yeah.
It's quick.
And part of it is the mindset too, because people put more effort in knowing, oh, I only have to go
Yeah.
30 minutes. And then you also throw out the idea that, you know what, if you don't feel like 30 minutes is enough, stay for the first half of the second, or, you know, just stay on, be a workout warrior. Now, it kind of bothers me because I have one lady that she'll do one and then she'll do the other, but she dogs it. You know, like,
At that point, they're just staying for the culture. They're just staying to hang out, you know?
yeah, or, you know, it's like, and so for those people or people that, how many people have you had that experience that, yeah,
I would stay for 260 minutes. And
260.
you want to talk about like cheers? I mean, she might as well had a beer. She did nonstop, just shit talking. Whoever she's working out with knows her whole life story.
Oh,
what
yeah.
Her kid
Oh,
ate for
okay.
breakfast, what her and her husband fought about. and
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
So she needed a therapist, not.
No, she had us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it.
So
It's
funny.
cheaper therapy.
One
Yeah.
people to choose from every day, and it's like.
And that's the thing too, is that sometimes you know, like people come to boot camp for different reasons. She was getting validated in, you know, she was coming for 120 minutes of therapy or,
Yeah.
you know,
Sweating
listen
out
to my
her-
story,
yeah.
right? And so as trainers, as owners, you start to learn who's in it for what. You know, like a lot of our 5:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. boot campers, they're pretty hardcore. They're not into chat, right? And then I call my 9:30 group, like that's the coffee group. If they weren't coming into boot camp, they would be around a coffee table, you know, having cake and coffee, or actually mine, they'd want wine probably.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and so people come to boot camp for different reasons. And so part of your job, and we're going to talk about this next, about building the culture, is getting to know your clients and getting to know why they're there, and who you'll learn who you can push and who you can't. So that woman, you know, you probably couldn't push her any harder. She was there, she was getting what she needed, she got what she wanted, everybody's happy. But if she came up and, you know, complained that it's not a hard workout, then, you know, sometimes I've had that with people like, have
Yes.
you had that at all? It's like, oh,
Yes.
it's not a hard workout?
Because you're talking the whole time.
Yeah, or has anybody had that experience? How have you solved that? What have you done?
Just actual communication with the person I'm communicating. Say, you know what, I need you to concentrate more on the workout
Yeah.
that you're doing, because right now you're asking for benefits, you're asking for an actual result, and I'm constantly trying to help you out and say, hey, so and so,
Yeah.
time you got 5 seconds left, and give
Yeah.
me what you got.
Or how about try this?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, let's try the push-up with the burpee.
Yeah.
Let's try a burpee and not a full body extension. Like, so just adding a little bit of intensity, right?
My trainer always will joke around too, like, if you think it's too easy, then grab a heavier weight.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not using
Yeah, it's
heavy
like-
enough resistance.
Yeah, let's drop the 5 pounds. Let's
Yeah.
pick up the 10s or the 15s. Yeah, making sure they have proper form, but then
Yeah.
pushing them a little bit that way. Yeah.
I think what helps also, I'd like try to remind them to work out in a group with people who will push themselves.
Right.
When you look over and you see someone who you aspire to be like and want their results, you tell them like it should be a conscious decision who you work out with. Don't work
Right.
out next to the slacker to make yourself look good. Work out with someone who's always going to make you want to push yourself.
Yeah.
So when they look over and they're tired, they're still going. You don't want to be the only one not moving.
Right.
So they keep going. And it's little stuff like that they don't really realize because people tend to take the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So giving them strategies to push themselves is helpful. So building your Fit Body Boot Camp culture that's probably as a trainer, you're an integral part of that. As an owner, this is your goal, is to have people want to come, not just to train, but to be part of the group. I know everybody's got stories of how their group kind of gels together. I have clients that have met in boot camp and they're best friends now. They hike Kilimanjaro together, they holiday together. Like it's just a great culture. And I know that every probably location has those kinds of stories. And so we'll just go through some of the things that
absolutely.
Help to build that culture.
Definitely as a trainer, it is your responsibility to arrive early. Not if your session starts at 5 a.m., you're not arriving at 4:59. How we do things at FitBody is that you are there 20 to 15 minutes early. Everything is set up. If you have your whiteboards, we'll go over that later. Everything, if you have a station that's dumbbells and you have it over, for example, in that corner, my dumbbells are over here, it's your responsibility to move those over there. Everything should be completely set up so that when that first person pulls into the parking lot, you're able to greet them. How are you today? Thanks so much for coming. That's extremely important to how we do things at FitBody. That's a very integral part of our culture. You don't want to be setting up, writing on the whiteboard, pulling out the battling ropes, if you don't have, putting up TRXs and having people walk in. No, everything needs to be done. Your restroom should be spotless. Water should be available. However you have things within your Fit Body Boot Camp. That's extremely important, coming early. And that, again, is up to the owner. Me, one of my female trainer, she takes a little longer, so she's expected to be here 20 minutes early. And our male trainer, he's really, really quick with things, so 15 minutes. So that, it takes him 5 minutes. People start arriving, he's ready to go. People are, he's greeting them, things like that. And I kind of went over as well, prepare the equipment. Everything should be set up, ready for them, so that once, especially with a 30-minute workout, it's extremely important. You don't want to have to be rushing for weights or jump ropes or sliders. Everything should be set, ready for your members. Appearance, I know it's hard. I trained at 5 a.m. for a year straight. Clean, comb your hair. I know it's like little things, and I know we're in fitness and everything, but just, be presentable. Nobody wants to wake up at 5 a.m. and come see someone with a side ponytail. I don't care if it's in style and hair all messy and things like that. And, just look presentable. That's extremely important as well. And have that welcoming atmosphere. So, music on. If I'm assuming everyone does have music within their, music on. Lights on. We typically leave our door open for our first session so that everyone kind of feels welcome. We close it off once the first session starts, just for air purposes. But, create that welcoming environment. Everyone's talking and friendly and you're greeting people. That's extremely important. And if you don't know people's names, keep asking them. People will forgive you. They understand that you're working with a lot of other individuals. If you don't know their name yet, ask them. It's very important, like Shauna mentioned earlier, that you're greeting people by their names. And when you're correcting their form quietly, you're using their name, encouraging them using their names. Start on time. We want to be respectful of their time, especially, as an owner, you want to instill this into your trainers. And trainers, if things are one session that starts 5 minutes late, especially by 30 minutes, it rolls over and over and over. And we want to be respectful of their time. And yes, ma'am.
Do you always start 5 minutes after? Like, what do you do, Sean, in terms of how much time do you give?
I have a 5 minute kind of, because mine are 40 minutes, I'm like 5:30 to 6:10, 6:15 to 6:15 to, 5 to 7. Then we run at 7 to 7:30, then 9:30 till 10:10. That's mine.
So is that pretty standard for most people, is about a 5 minute to 10 minute break between?
We don't. We are back to back. People warm up on their own. So there's a standard warm up that everyone pretty much knows to do and we'll go into circle time later. But circle time happens in one side of the room while the other, the next session is warming up. Trainer says goodbye to the last session. If people are staying for doubles, they jump in. Sometimes they might just be cooling down, grabbing water. And then the session starts immediately, the explanation of the workout.
And so when you have, like, when you do it like that with no kind of downtime, then the person that's going to do 2 sessions doesn't really have any lost time. So in mine, there's that 5-minute transition. So I'll say who's staying, and I'll give them a circuit to do. Okay, you're going to the bleachers, you're doing pull-ups, step-ups, push-ups, you're doing 10 of each, and then they'll come in and warm up with us.
Do you find that there's a lot of mingling still happening? Like, do you have to shoot people out after the circle time?
We get a lot of mingling, and it's a good thing. That means you're doing a really great job of creating that culture, and people don't want to leave. Early mornings, people are going. I mean, they've got to get to work. So typically, our early morning sessions, people are, they're out. They've got kids to drop off, things like that. Our evening sessions, typically people will mingle, hang out, but they know. I mean, most people, the general population, are respectful, and they realize that another session is going to be going on, so they might take it outside, or they might be in the back of the room just, visiting. And that's great. I mean, for me, like, if I see 5 or 6 people back there next to the cubbies talking, I'm excited. I'm like, great, we've done a really good job. People want to hang out.
And that's our next thing is connections, and be a connector, so that when Mrs. Jones comes in, she doesn't know anybody, you can connect Mrs. Jones with Mrs. Smith. Hey, Mrs. Jones, I know that you've got a 10-year-old and Mrs. Smith has a 10-year-old, your kids go to the same school, and so you kind of make those connections, and so then it makes Mrs. Jones feel a lot more comfortable. So and the next one is knowing your campers. So knowing a little bit of personal information about everybody is super important, so that you can make those connections, because a lot of times accountability is not necessarily me checking up on Mrs. Jones all the time, but it's Mrs. Smith saying, hey, I missed you, where were you, or I was expecting to see you. They become workout buddies, and so that creates even more accountability for Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Jones to hook up and meet together and train together. So really important for your clients, and to build that culture. Following up, asking why, Mrs. Jones, I haven't seen you for a day. Where have you been? Or just know, let's say, I know one of my campers, my trainer said, yeah, Haley left early, and I didn't know why. So I just texted her right away, are you okay, Haley? So she was just so appreciative. Yeah, I just had a blinding headache. I decided to leave. Thanks for checking up on me. So just doing little things like following up like that. Owners especially, I know in owners, you need to have some kind of accountability, because you might not be training every session, but you need to have like an incident book, or like I've got a book in like that's on my registration table that trainers just make notes in. Sheila twisted her knee. We gave her ice. She went home early, or maybe that's not it, or whatever. Just little notes, so that when I come in, or when the next trainer comes in, they can say, Sheila, I heard that you twisted your knee. Let's be careful. How's it feeling? So that then you get that continuity between trainers, so that owners know what's going on. So having an incident book and following up, owners especially, because it is your boot camp. And you need to be the go-to, you need to be the face of your company. And so you want your trainers to be always knowing that you're the head trainer, and that you're concerned about them. You're not just in the back office selling memberships, but you're concerned about their fitness, and you want to know, okay, well, what's happening with your knee? Okay, well, we're going to, maybe you're going to spend 10 minutes with them and talk about certain form of, okay, you're going to do Raphael's workout, but you're going to do X, Y, Z.
And then trainers too, get with your owner. Like, what is your follow-up, procedure? What are your boundaries? What are your responsibilities to do? Is it, do you text? Do you do Google Voice? What do you do, and what is the system? So trainers definitely, I would, like Shauna mentioned, how the extreme importance of that.
Yeah, and so owners, you have to kind of establish how much you want your trainers to do in terms of follow-up, or do you want your trainers just to tell you and then you follow up? Like, I give my trainers access to admin access to my Facebook fan page, so that they can go in and say, wow, Mrs. Jones, you did an awesome job today, best squats I've ever seen, or, you know, make comments. And so trainers, you need to find out from your owners, do you want me to do that? Because that's, you know, that's a great way to connect through your Facebook fan page.
Do you allow them to text the members, or is that completely yours?
I mostly do the texting. I don't know about you, Kara.
No, our trainers don't have access to members' phone numbers.
Yeah, like I wouldn't, that's just me, but I know some trainers do, like some owners have their trainers do. I don't do that, but I have them Facebook them, and I find that that's, you know, great way of follow up. That seems sufficient for me, and I've got like 100, I did a count, and I have like 135 members, and so it's hard to stay on top of everybody. Stephanie, what do you do?
My trainers text them.
Do they?
I pretty much trust my trainers.
Yeah, it depends on your situation, and it's not a lack of trust. Like I have awesome trainers, but
It's just different systems for different people.
yeah, it's whatever you
Yeah.
feel comfortable
we've got
with.
250 clients. And so
See?
Yeah.
That's a lot of clients to
that's
stay on
part
top
their
of.
That's part of their retention job. is
Yeah.
to text a client at least once a week, and it makes such a big difference. And whenever it was just me, every day I would text clients. I would spend, I was telling Denise, an hour, 2 hours
I-
just texting.
Yeah.
I know.
Makes people feel so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small thing, but making that connection
Mm-hmm.
and having fun, because fun is contagious. So owners, especially new owners, and people watching the video, is that it's very fast. You can get burnt out very quickly as a trainer, like as a trainer owner. So hire a trainer sooner than later, because as soon as you're not having fun, then the fun factor drops for your clients. So trainers guard against burnout as well, because it's really important to be, you know, pumped up and energetic and having fun during when you're teaching. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Do you want to talk about this one?
Sure. So FABC culture in your community. For owners that are watching, this is really important for trainers as well. You can go back and share some of this with your, with, you know, the people in your with your team. So here's just some really good ideas to kind of build community within your boot camp. Like we talked about earlier, you know, we are a family with that cheers-like experience. So here's some really good things to do to build community and help with retention. So things like charity events, like we were talking about Tough Mudders earlier and Warrior Dashes, and those are amazing. They're constantly 5Ks and all kinds of things going on. So definitely get involved in things like that. You know, fun costume and theme-based workouts just to kind of change it up a bit are always really fun. So Halloween, 80s days are just some of the fun ideas you can do. Group competitions. I kind of mentioned that earlier, but you can even do competitions like within your boot camp. So like a burpee competition or a push-up or pull-up or whatever it is, just something to kind of change it up a bit. I know Shauna did, I'll kind of let you take over on that, the open house where you had that. You had something like that, right?
Yeah, depending on, you know, your situation, I'll have clients over to my house. I have another person that we kind of share lists with, and she sells designer jeans, kind of home party type stuff, and not having an emphasis on buying stuff, but having more of an emphasis on just getting together socially. So I'll have Yvette over, and she'll have jeans available. You had your Lulu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a
trunk
Lululemon
sale.
trunk show, and everyone got to
Yeah.
come, and
Yeah,
so
and
just different things.
I like having clients to my home, because then it kind of disarms them, and I say, you know, come to my house. I won't make you do burpees or push-ups, or, you know, it's nice to see everybody in regular clothes, and you get to connect on a different level. Or I'll take my my inner circle or my VIPs out, like those that have bought a year. I'll say, let's go out for dinner. So, you know, we'll have a dinner date, and I'll take 20 of them out and have dinner, like that kind of thing, so that you're connecting with them on a different level.
Social media is huge. If you're not using Facebook, definitely get a Facebook fan page going. Does everyone here have a Facebook fan page for their business, for their Fit Body?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's definitely a really good way, you know, to get the word out there. Snapping pictures, tagging clients, giving them props for job well done is extremely important, and connecting with other people. So like how we're meeting right now, connecting with other Fit Body owners. I mean, we're one big family in Fit Body Boot Camp, and you know, not any of us knows it all. So we can always share ideas and help each other out any way we can. If one person's doing, if Shauna's doing something really cool, I might reach out to her and be like, hey, how can I make this work for me? How can we incorporate this into our boot camp? And we're really blessed that Fit Body Boot Camp is an amazing organization, and all our owners are awesome and willing to help in any way possible. So that's really important, to kind of go beyond the scope of your personal fit body, is to kind of learn from other fit bodies and see what everyone's doing. Think outside the box.
I think that's really the strength of Fit Body Boot Camp, and that was your comment, Denise, right? As a new owner, it's like, holy cow, I'm not doing this alone. Because a lot of times when you're starting a new business, you just feel like an island. And then when you meet all these other people that have been through the same thing, having the same issues, how did you solve it? And so we really need to lean on each other. And so I think we actually even have a Fit Body Boot Camp family page.
Yeah, we have a
now, right? And so it's your job to reach out. And I know Bedros talking to him one day, his comment was the most successful people that in Fit Body are the people that reach out the most, that share the most, like share their ideas, and that ask the most questions. And so as an owner, it's really your job, whether it be a financial question, like how do I run my business, a training question, but to lean on other people, because other people, they have similar issues, they've solved it in different ways. And like Kara said, I don't know all the answers, she doesn't know all the answers, but I might have a solution that might help you. And so just to lean on other people, it's a really big, that's one of the strengths of Fit Body Boot Camp. And what's nice is that, nobody's really in direct competition with each other. Denise is an hour away from me, and I know in California you've got lots of fit bodies all over, but you know what, when she's successful an hour away from me, when Cable's successful and he's 20 minutes away from you, when Jimmy's successful and he's 10 minutes away from me, I feel like I'm getting personal success. We're growing the brand, we're gonna, be top of mind awareness for everybody, right? Everybody's gonna know Fit Body Boot Camp. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Are you encouraging trainers to reach out to other owners?
No, owners.
Owners.
I'm talking owners.
Yeah.
But as trainers, you should know that your owner has access to all kinds of other, So if you're experiencing an issue in your camp, you can go to your owner and say, well, I wonder how they're doing it in Modesto, or you can suggest that, well, I met Sonia and at the university or whatever. They'll reach out on your behalf. So as owners more, thanks for clearing that up. Is there anything that anybody's doing in their camp to create culture? Like, we were talking about mud runs or anything.
We had Olympic Day on Friday, so we had different stations. Like there was like a burpee station, a plank station, a push-up station, and a long jump station. Each one was 3.5 minutes, and then you would get like a little gold star or a bronze star or a silver star, and everyone was posting it on Facebook. I saw Friday, all my clients were like, oh my god, my day started out so good, I got a gold star. Lots of people held a plank for 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were really proud. It went better than I thought. And we took pictures, of the Olympic team.
Well, and the thing is that I taught elementary school, I taught kindergarten, and no adult's gonna want to play duck, duck, goose. Or, you know what I mean? They won't think they want to, but then when you do something like that, or have a field day or an Olympic day, it's and they get a gold star, it's wow, they really love it, right? Yeah. Because it's it brings out the kid in them, and it's not something that they would go do on their own. So surprisingly, throw stuff out like that and come at it with enthusiasm, and you'll be surprised at the reception that you'll get. When you come on board and excited. I did a bikini challenge, and I came to boot camp. I was wearing black tights, but I came in a bikini. I got everybody to take pictures of themselves in bikinis after I did that. It's you go and you have to be a little silly and make fun of yourself a little bit, but you can get adults to do a lot of really fun stuff that they would not normally do, right? And so
how often would you do something like that? Every couple months, every 3 months?
It's kind of spontaneous too, and take advantage of holidays. It's at Easter, we'll have a workout that they have to go and, open up little Easter eggs and have the exercise inside. Or St. Patrick's Day, I think it was on your Facebook wall, Stephanie, everybody's in green, or you did something special for that.
Once a month, usually day once a month.
Yeah, and it might not necessarily be the third Friday of a full moon. It doesn't have to be necessarily prescribed, but, the 17th of every month is whatever. It's kind of spontaneous, right? And you know, it's just a lot of fun to help build your culture. So, all right, we talked a little bit about the workout sessions being 30 minutes long. Did anybody have any questions about that? Because we're going to talk about how the warm-up really helps to, you know, that's a big deal. A lot of people are doing like a 10, 15-minute warm-up, and so then the workout is like 45 minutes with a 10-minute warm-up. So anybody have any questions about, we talked about the workout being 30 minutes. Anything else you have to say about
No.
that? Anybody have anything to say about that?
No, but it definitely is. I mean, we know that an hour-long workouts don't necessarily mean more results. However, our clients reading, Shape magazine or wherever they get their information, there's so much information out there. It's our job to educate them. It's our responsibility. And as trainers, like, back your owner up. It's our responsibility that they're being pushed for 30 minutes. Don't let them slack off. Unless you know that Miss Jones has a knee injury or whatever the case may be, it's our job to educate them. We can be more respectful of their time. They can go home, be with their families, get to their job or whatever it is they need to do, and they can still fit in fitness. Because a lot of people, that's their biggest thing. I don't have time.
Right.
Well, with 30 minutes, you most absolutely do.
Yeah.
You most definitely do. So it's our responsibility, educate them on why. Why? Because we don't do 2-minute breaks. Everyone else is going to give you a break. Well, you know what? I feel that that's wasteful of your time. I want to respect your time. I know I can get you the same, if not better results in 30 minutes.
Well, the other thing too is that all our workouts are research-based. So we just didn't choose 30 minutes because we want to be respectful of time. That's just a happy benefit.
Yeah.
But the fact is that who's at the World Conference, the last World Conference with Alan Cosgrove?
Yeah.
Right? I think we were meeting March 8th, and I think he had March 7th studies. Yeah, which blew me away that he had studies from the day before, documenting that, in its intensity over duration in terms of the best fat loss results. Fitness and fat loss results are best achieved with greater intensity versus duration of workout sessions. So it's not just because we want to get people in and out and we want to monetize more. It's like some people might think, oh, well, they're just doing 30 minutes so they can kind of churn people over. That's not it. We're doing it because that's going to get them the best results. And so if you get, if objections come, that's your argument, is that this is research based. And I don't know if we have that on the membership site.
I don't know, but we probably should.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you think the objection would be less, prevalent if you start out 30?
Yes, definitely.
I would
Start with 30.
Yeah, don't even.
Yeah, don't start.
Yeah, start out 30, totally.
Yeah, like it's big objection for me because a lot of people, like, they were conditioned for an hour, right?
For
And so
for
it's
years.
Like, yeah, for like 5 years, and I didn't want it to be an hour, so I kind of just slowly backed off, and people didn't really notice. But I was running on the hour, and so, but now I'm not running on the hour, so now everybody's like, what, right? So then I had to address it a bit more.
And the only thing that comes to mind with that is being that they're odd times, like 6:10 or 6:40.
Right.
Do people have problems with that? Do you post it and make it easily available? I mean, do people have a hard time keeping track of those weird times?
Mine aren't weird. What would you say? Yours are weird.
Yeah, ours are kind of weird. We haven't posted. People normally have a problem with it though. It's kind of easier too because it's a little after 6. So like if it was at 6 and
People
they're
are
a little
late.
bit late, yeah.
So they
It
just
works
come
out.
for 6 and then they're on time at 6:10.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Except for they come for 7 and they're 10 minutes late for the 6:50.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's going to go backwards.
So our
Yeah.
afternoon times are 4:55, 5:30, 6:05, and 6:40. And we've never, we have
That's
people
not
that,
been an issue.
it's never been an issue. People are we're thinking about maybe even adding like I'm sorry, 4. Mm-hmm. And you have to,
Really weird times too.
Y'all have weird-
4:40, 4:15, 4:50, 5:25, 6 o'clock.
It's just
Yeah.
part of your culture too.
Yeah.
Like once you start it, and then you'll have it posted on your website. You probably have a sign in the window. They just start to get to
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
And so you just have it available for them. And good news is if they're 15 minutes late or actually, you came early.
Yeah,
I
you're
had
early.
Someone come for the 6:15. Well, she was actually coming for she was coming for the 6:30, but she came late or whatever. As it turned out, I'm like, no. I said, are you coming early? She said, no, I'm coming late. I'm like, no, wrong answer. You're coming early. Just do the end of this one and do the start of the next one. It's like,
And
you
you're
look
good.
clean that way.
Yeah.
So because they're only 30-minute sessions, they can, the potential is, you could work them in. You don't necessarily always want that, because then, it's kind of a dog's breakfast of people coming and going.
It's challenging for the
randomly
trainer too to have to
safely, tell what's going on. But if that happened, in this case, she was a longtime trainer with me, like longtime client. She could just kind of get in, and so it worked out. So I mean, worst case scenario, if they're a little bit late, they can either wait 10 minutes or the sessions are fast. It's not like a whole hour. So, and then the whole workout warrior we talked about.
Yeah.
That I try and tell my clients, if you can do 2 in a row, you probably didn't do the first one hard enough.
Yeah.
So that's probably what you want to be instilling in your clients, that, you should be baked after half an hour. So, all right.
I think we
I went
skipped
back.
back.
I went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Workout session. All right. How many people are doing time sets in their sessions? Timed. Do you do time sets, Alex?
Yeah.
Mostly time sets. Timed. Nothing. Like, have you done in the past trained with time sets? Yeah. Caesar. Yeah. Nicole. Yes. 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 You're going to. That's the right answer.
Mhm.
Yes. Bryce, you're going to be doing time sets. For the most part, your clients are going to love. What's your experience with time sets? Tell us.
It works out easy because if you're counting your sets, then they don't really know how many they're doing in this time, so they just keep going. Or opposed to you have to do 10, they're just gonna do the 10.
Right, and then they're standing.
Yeah.
Or yeah, and so my biggest thing is, especially for new clients, they'd be like, well, or beginners, it's like, well, how does an advanced person train with a new person? And it's like all from time sets. So that one person that's like Caesar, who's maybe super fit, might get 15 burpees done in a certain amount of time, and Mrs. Jones, who's just entry level fitness or getting back, she might do 4 full body extensions in the same amount of time. They're both having awesome workouts. Everybody's being successful. Nobody's having to count or compare. Mrs. Jones isn't like Caesar isn't standing around looking at Mrs. Jones waiting for her to finish her 10. Or, she's like, okay, I've done 2 and everyone's done. Now I feel unsuccessful. So to create that, foster that sense of success, time sets are really the best way to go. And so we're going to talk about what we call the 3-part tempo system, which is, we want you to loosely kind of run this in your boot camp. And really what it's talking about is breaking the time set that you're doing into three kind of portions. As a trainer or as an owner, and you're encouraging your trainer, you always want to have some kind of, you don't want to have like deadpan quiet all the time. And so if you think about your workout experience or the energy in your boot camp, your trainer has to create that. And so new trainers especially might have some difficulty in finding what to say. And so one solution is to help them to keep the energy up, is to have them count down, right? So if you're doing, say, a 30-second set, the first 10 seconds, say, what the trainer wants to be doing is kind of scanning the room and telling
Technique.
Yeah, telling what the exercise is, and then going over major technique, right? Like, on our squat, back on our heels, don't let the knees come forward, wiggle the toes, keep the chin up, just basic technique things. The second part, you're gonna kind of, again, scan the room and notice who's off. Because as we all know, in a boot camp setting, we want it to be like one-on-one training in a group setting, so that if we see that Mrs. Jones is doing just a horrible squat, we're not just going to let it go. We're going to give them tips, And I mean, I might as well say this now, but we have to, we'll bring it up again later, is shout outs. Like, Stephanie, you're doing such an awesome push-up. We can do that in front of everybody, right? So lots of shout outs for positive stuff. When Stephanie is really not doing a good squat, I'm not going to yell out, Stephanie, get your ass back, or, sit your bum back, right? You're going to be like, come up quieter and say, Stephanie, now wiggle your toes, sit your bum back, keep your chin up. So corrections are very quiet and shout outs are very loud, but kind of during those time sets, the first 10 seconds you're giving explanation and general instruction for everybody. The next 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds, you're going to be trying to pick out those people that, I need to correct Denise's form. Okay, Daryl, I need to, so then you might run over and give them a little tip. And then the last 10 seconds, certainly the last 5 seconds is a countdown. 5 more seconds, so that, because it's only 30, like most of our sets are going to be 30 seconds long for most of our workouts, but it can get to be a long set. And so kind of fills the dead air and it keeps the intensity up when people know there's only 5 more seconds. You can do anything for 10 seconds. So getting that countdown. And so at the very, you don't want to be doing a countdown for every single, we have about 90 30-second sets.
Yeah.
You might not want to be counting down every single one. But as a rule of thumb, those last 5-10 seconds, you want to just be reminding 5 seconds left. And during this time, I always use it as a time to prep people, like when we're going to change stations or what's coming up next. So if we know that we're going to do rows, and then our next set is going to be a burpee, okay, we've got 5 seconds of rows left. Get ready. We're going to be doing burpees next. Get ready. We've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's switch. Get ready for your burpee. So generally, we'll have a 5-second transition time. And so preparing your clients for the next exercise is super important. And to get your clients or get your trainers to always tell clients of what's coming up next, right? Anything more on that?
Not that I can think of. I feel like you pretty much covered everything. Just making sure that as a trainer, just to reiterate what Shauna said, is that you're recognizing improper technique and poor form immediately, so that Miss Jones isn't on her 3rd set of squats with her knees extending beyond her toes. That should be in your head to look for that first few seconds. You're scanning the room, you're moving around and making sure everyone's proper form, and then once you know that, you're getting everyone to push themselves, pushing them more than they would push themselves if they were just at a gym by themselves or what have you.
And sometimes, like, if I'm way over here and I can see someone's doing something wrong over there and I can't get to them, is I might do a shout out but not say
a name.
Yeah, I might not say, oh, it's Merwin, it's you that's doing this wrong. But I might say, when you're doing your squats, make sure you're doing blah, 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 right? And so just always be cognizant of the fact that people want to have recognition on doing something right, but might not be thrilled about having a correction in front of the whole group. So there might be more than one, it might be Merwin, Stewart, Lisa, Stephanie, they all need to correct that form. And so you might want to, do a shout out for just as a general correction. When you're doing a step up, make sure you're stepping on your heel, not on your toe. Don't let that knee go over top of the, and so then when, this group gets to the step ups or whatever, that's kind of in their head as well. So that's super important.
Agreed.
What are we on? Okay, the warm up.
Warm up.
You want to talk about it and we'll do one?
Sure. So the warm up, and it seems like everyone here is either hasn't done one yet, or we're doing things a little bit differently. But basically, what we've found that works really best, obviously, the benefits, dynamic stretching. So doing stretching that's going to kind of warm up the entire body, not doing calf stretches or stretching out the triceps, things like the more dynamic. That's really going to get all your muscles going, waking up the entire body. And, obviously, prevent injury, extremely important. During the warm-up, it's also extremely important to our culture and how we do things at Fit Body Bootcamp is that you're acknowledging and recognizing new clients. So if, today's Cesar's first day, you're introducing him, welcoming him to to our Fit Body family. It might be a time too that you're, if someone's been gone for a while and they're back, that you're welcoming them back to the group. And it also just kind of takes the thinking out of everything, that it's led by the trainer. So people aren't like, well, what should I stretch? What do I need to do? Having a universal stretch for everyone. It also sets the tone for the workout. So being high energy, being smiling, getting everyone excited, welcome everyone. It makes everyone feel good. Okay, fine, I can do this for 30 minutes. Really, really important that you as a trainer, that you are setting the tone for the workout, and the warm-up is the time to do that. Set expectations. So especially if you're just starting out, you maybe have a lot of new members that day, set your expectations. Hey, you might be introducing a couple new things. Let them know. Hey guys, today, for example, when we introduced the RIP trainers, hey guys, today we're going to be introducing the RIP trainers. I know it's going to be new for everybody here. Just a couple things to keep in mind. The bars weighted, things like that, if you guys are introducing TRXs. So kind of set expectations. Hey guys, we're all going to progress to 20-pound weights today, or whatever it is. Let them know ahead of time. Don't introduce it to them 20 minutes into the workout. Oh, by the way, guys, we're using RIP trainers. Have that set before the actual boot camp session begins.
Well, the biggest thing is during the warm-up is you want to tell them exactly what's going to happen. Some things are on a need-to-know basis. It's like, but if you're doing, say, a 4-station rotation, you want everybody to know when the warm-up is over, which is in 3 minutes, you want them to know exactly where they're going and exactly what they're doing. So we're going to talk about how we use whiteboards, but we're going to do a little warm-up where we're going to show you how you kind of set those expectations and tell everybody where they're going during, after that next minute. Because after the warm-up, you don't want to stand around and say, okay, now we have to split up into 4 groups, and anyone wearing pink is going to go to this group. Anyone wearing blue is going to go to that. It's like everybody should know where they're going and what they're taking.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that, you set those expectations during the warm-up. And the other thing is that repetition is fine during the warm-up. You don't want to have any boot camp the same. The sessions all need to be different, but the warm-up does not. Warm-up can be very similar. It provides, especially those early morning sessions, it takes the thinking out of it, and it allows you, for them to do the warm-up, they can turn their brain off of the exercises they're doing, and they can turn it on to what you're telling them. So that if you choose 4 exercises, and that's what we're going to do in our little warm-up here, we're going to choose 4 exercises, we're going to repeat them, so that you don't actually have to think about the exercises, but you can be listening and knowing about what we're going to do next, okay? So let's just do a warm-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. We got everybody. Come close, everyone. All right, we're going to start with just a step jack. All right? So today's workout. Stephanie, you're back from holidays. It's awesome to see you. Okay, we're doing 30 seconds of work with a 5-second transition. We're going to do 4 exercises. All right? So see how I'm doing like a low impact? Okay, and I'm not going to do it the whole time. I don't know why I was doing that. I never do that. Okay. All right, in 5 seconds, we're going to switch, and we're just going to do a squat. You're going to squat to the level that fits your knees. So if we're not warm, we're going to adjust the depth. We're going to do a chest opening stretch at the top of the movement. So I've chosen 4 exercises. For this warm-up, you're going to choose something similar that you're going to repeat, and we're going to do it twice. Okay, so with your clients, 4 exercises, full body. So we're going to do this. We're going to go to the floor and do a push-up next. We've got 9 seconds left. On the warm-up, you don't have to be counting down so much like you would be with a workout. Okay, let's go to the floor. We're going to do modified push-ups, everybody. You're on your knees. Okay, if you find that 30 minutes, we're not doing, you're on the clock. Here we go. 30 seconds. If you find that this is too much for you, Mrs. Jones, you're just going to go to a front plank, okay? So we're warming up with a modified push-up, or we could go to the wall. So during the first 4 exercises, depending on your group, like I've got campers that have been with me for 5 years, so I don't need to go over form. on the warm-ups. But for you, flip over, let's do a bicycle crunch, okay? But for you, you might want to you might focus on Nicole, you're brand new, you're going to flip over opposite elbow to opposite knee. Now to modify, just put a leg down. So the first time through your warm-up, you're going to give a little bit of instruction on the form. Then the second time through, we're going to increase intensity a little bit, and I'm going to tell you where you're going and what's coming up, all right? We've got 5 seconds. And after that, we're going to get up. We're going to do either a step jack or maybe you're going to increase it to a full-on jack. All right, easy up, everybody. Let's do a jumping jack or a step jack for those of you, or a step jack or a jumping jack for those of you that are ready. All right, now we've got 4 stations in today's workout. So now's the time that I'm going to go into what we're doing. First station, we're doing rows, and we're going to pair that up with squat jumps. We've got a 4-station rotation going on today. Second station is we're going to be using the steps. We're going to be doing a step up, and then we're going to do an incline push up. Set 2 is going to be a step up. All right, we're doing a modified push up. Those of you that are ready are doing a full-on push up. Wait, oh no, sorry, we're doing the squat. Sorry, squat with a chest opening stretch. So we've got, and don't worry, we've got whiteboards there. So we're going to talk about how you're going to be using the whiteboards at stations so people don't have to remember, okay? Set 2 is we're going to be at our step up. Set 3 is going to be at the ropes. So we're going to be doing double rope waves. Set 2 is going to be a plank. And our last station is going to be dumbbells. Let's go to a push-up. We're doing a modified push-up, or we're doing a regular push-up. We've only got 1 more minute left of our warm-up, so make sure that you're getting that blood pumping. Chin is up, head is even with the shoulders. Our 4th station is we're doing clean and press, and we're going to pair that up with a burpee. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Kara, everybody from this side, you're going to be going to TRX. From Bryce, not yet, keep going. From Bryce to Alex, you guys are all going to step up. Lisa, Stephanie, flip over, we're doing a bicycle crunch. Lisa, Stephanie, Stuart, you guys are going to dumbbells. And this group here, you guys are all going to ropes. Does everybody know where they're going? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, we've got 20 seconds. We've got this bicycle crunch. You don't need to take anything with you. You need to carry your water. You're going to rest when you need to. We've got 10 seconds. And then we're moving. You've got 30 seconds after this set to get ready, because then we're starting. All right, everybody up and go. Okay, so then everybody would go to their station. We are done. Okay, so that was a 2-minute, we did 8 sets. How long is that?
I'm sorry?
4 sets? 8 times. 3 minutes. Yeah. And so that's pretty much all you need to do. So see how we started with a step jack, and then we went, so you're not going to start with a burpee, you're not going to start with a squat jump, but you might start with a full body extension. And then the second set through, you might do something a bit more intense. All right, we're going to resettle down. So does anybody need a drink of water or a bathroom break? Let's go have that now, and then we'll kind of reconvene here.